Hey there! Have you ever wondered what would happen if someone could access your cloud applications without permission? Imagine sensitive data, business workflows, or even financial information being exposed just because of a poorly secured API. Sounds scary, right? Today, we're going to dive into one of the most critical cloud security risks, cloud API misuse. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to prevent it and keep your cloud environment safe. Welcome to Bluehat Cybersec Academy. Let's start at the basics. You might be wondering, what exactly are cloud APIs? Well, a cloud API, or application programming interface, is essentially a set of rules that allows different software applications to talk to a cloud service. APIs let you do things like fetch data from a cloud database, upload files to cloud storage, trigger cloud-based computations, or integrate third-party services like analytics or payment gateways. These APIs make cloud systems flexible, automated, and scalable. But here's the catch. They also create a potential attack surface if they aren't properly secured. So, what does cloud API misuse actually mean? In simple terms, cloud API misuse happens when APIs are accessed, exposed, or implemented in a way that allows unauthorized users to exploit them. This misuse can be intentional, like when hackers try to steal data, or accidental, such as through misconfiguration. Some common examples include using APIs without proper authentication or authorization, exposing sensitive data through unencrypted endpoints, sharing API keys publicly, or granting excessive privileges to users. In other words, any lapse in configuration, security, or monitoring can lead to API misuse. Let's explore some of the most common causes of cloud API misuse. First, exposed or public APIs. Sometimes APIs are left publicly accessible without authentication. Attackers can discover these endpoints using automated tools and extract sensitive data or perform malicious actions. Second, weak or missing authentication. APIs without strong authentication, like multi-factor authentication or OAuth tokens, are easy targets for attackers. Third, improper access controls. Giving too many permissions can allow attackers to escalate privileges or access confidential data. Fourth, hard-coded or leaked API keys. Storing API keys in public code repositories or unencrypted configuration files exposes them to attackers who can impersonate legitimate users. And finally, lack of monitoring and logging. Without proper monitoring, abnormal API usage, like repeated failed requests, can go unnoticed, giving attackers free rein. Now, let's talk about the risks of cloud API misuse, because these are very real. First, data breaches. Misused APIs can leak sensitive information, including customer data, intellectual property, or financial records. Second, financial loss. Unauthorized API use can lead to unexpected cloud service charges, fraud, or fines due to regulatory non-compliance. Third, service disruption. Attackers can overload or manipulate APIs, leading to downtime or denial of service incidents. Fourth, reputation damage. API breaches can erode customer trust and harm your company's brand image. And finally, regulatory penalties. Organizations that fail to protect sensitive data may face violations of GDPR, HIPAA, or other compliance regulations. To make this more tangible, let's look at some real-world examples of cloud API misuse. In 2018, the Facebook API was exploited by third-party apps to collect data on millions of users without consent. Certain Microsoft Azure storage APIs were misconfigured, accidentally exposing customer files, and in other cases, like with Twilio and GitHub, API keys committed to public repositories allowed unauthorized access to messaging and voice services. Even major organizations with advanced security measures can fall victim to API misuse, which shows just how critical proper security is. So, how can you prevent cloud API misuse? Prevention comes down to careful design, implementation, and monitoring. First, secure authentication and authorization. Use strong methods like OAuth 2.0, rotate API keys regularly, enable multi-factor authentication, and always apply the principle of least privilege. Second, encrypt API traffic. Always use HTTPS or TLS to protect sensitive data in transit. Third, monitor and log API usage. Enable alerts for unusual activity, and use anomaly detection to catch misuse early. Fourth, perform regular security audits. Review API endpoints, permissions, and configurations periodically to detect vulnerabilities. Fifth, avoid hard-coding keys. Store API keys in secure secret management tools and never commit them to public repositories. And finally, implement rate limiting and throttling. Protect APIs against abuse or automated attacks by limiting requests per user or IP. So, there you have it. Cloud APIs are the lifeblood of modern cloud services. They enable integration, automation, and scalability. But insecure or misused APIs can put your data, services, and reputation at serious risk. By understanding the causes, risks, and prevention strategies of cloud API misuse, you can keep your cloud environment safe. And remember, securing an API isn't just about technology. It's about thoughtful design, constant monitoring, and responsible management. Here's a quick challenge for you. Can you identify any APIs in your organization that might be overprivileged or publicly exposed? And what's one step you could take today to immediately secure your API endpoints? Think about it and share your strategies in the comments. We'd love to hear your approach. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bluehat Cybersec Academy. Check out our cloud security playlist for more real-world examples, expert tips, and actionable strategies to protect your cloud environment. Stay secure and keep your APIs safe.